If you're upset with what Tom Homan's doing with the border, you're certifiably insane. AOC goes on a little rant trying to vilify his actions and what he's doing, when in reality, that's what we voted for. We literally voted because you guys, and by you guys I mean the Democratic Party and the Biden administration and Harris, they just opened the border and let these illegal immigrants run free in our country doing God knows what. Well, we know people are dying. Lincoln Riley is one of the victims of their ridiculous incompetency when it came to the border. And you want to sit there and come at him so hard when he has done so much already in such a short period of time to secure our border. It is doing so well. And she flips out on him and he completely destroys her. But before we get into that, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to RTM News because it ensures to YouTube that you're enjoying these videos. In return, they will continually show up in your feed and they'll push it out to more people. I'm Titus. Let's get into this video.
AOC, your buddy, recently had a few choice words to say about you, Tom. Watch.
Every time you see Tom Homan on Fox News, every time you see these law enforcement officials doing flashy television interviews, understand that they are taking attention and focus and real dollars and real resources away from actual drug enforcement, trafficking enforcement, actually going after and actually trying to investigate really harmful activity that is happening.
Tom.
That's actually crazy considering the fact that you guys never once wanted to talk about any of those things. When Biden and Harris were in power, you were saying they were doing a great job, praising them, ignoring the problem at the border that the American people actually were concerned about and voted Trump in for. But now you want to sit there and talk about drug trafficking, all the things that are going, he's wasting our money going on Fox. Oh, now you care. Now you care about the border. This is what's so messed up with the politicians, man. They do not care. How can I make my side look good? I don't even care if I sound like a hypocrite because, you know, the news cycle is renewed every single day. And so people just forget everything that happened in the past. It's crazy. I've come to the realization that most people are just stupid. But man, that's insane. But let's hear what Tom Homan has to say.
Your response to her.
Look, I take pleasure in the fact I can live in her mind rent-free every day. That means I'm over the target. That means I'm making a difference. Bottom line is, she needs to look at the data. ICE is out. We've already arrested more criminal illegal aliens in 6 weeks than the Biden administration did in a year. The border is sealed, 96% decline in illegal immigration. And when 96% less people are coming across that border, how many children aren't dying? How many women aren't being trafficked? How many non-suspected terrorists aren't getting in the country? How many pounds of fentanyl isn't getting in Americans? This administration has done more for the safety and security of New York than she's ever done or ever will do. So we're going to keep doing what we do. I'm not running a popularity contest. If she don't like me, I'll wear that as a badge of honor. That means I'm doing the right thing.
Tom, as always, great to see you. Thank you so much.
Man, that's crazy. In 6 weeks with the Trump administration, they have secured the border 96%. 96%. Which just shows that they could have done it. That just shows that it wasn't difficult for the Biden administration, the Biden-Harris administration, to secure that border, to ensure the safety of Americans, but they decided that was not going to be a priority. They knew Trump had done a really good job, and they removed everything that he had put in place to secure our border and make sure that Americans were safe, that people like Lincoln Riley were safe. There was a story of a mother who went in her daughter's room in the middle of the night, and she wasn't there. She's freaking out, calling the cops. Everything's going on. They're just like, shoot. You know, obviously, it's your child. She was on the side of the road somewhere. She had been raped. She had been murdered. And it was from an illegal immigrant. Those things could be prevented. I don't understand why this is a difficult conversation or why this is something. And then you guys want to sit there and bring out things that are unrelated. Like, oh, there's criminals here in America. Right. But did those criminals do that to this little girl? Did those criminals do that to Lincoln Riley? Or were those the illegal immigrants that weren't supposed to be here but are? That's irrelevant. We'll deal with that when we get there. And that's a problem that needs to be fixed. This is also a problem that needs to be acknowledged. And it's absolutely ridiculous. 96% of the border within the first 6 weeks is secure. But it wasn't like that in the whole 4 years that Biden and Harris were in power. That is unacceptable. That is unacceptable. And like you said, on top of the fact that there's people like fentanyl isn't being pushed, the trafficking isn't going on at the border because it's secure, because we're there to protect it, to watch, to see what's happening instead of allowing it. Man. I have another video for you guys where Tom Homan's going to go in a little more detail of what they've been doing and how happy we should be that he is in the position that the borders are and not Kamala Harris, because she was a disgrace. So let's check this out.
In 4 weeks, we arrested more criminal aliens in the interior United States than Joe Biden did in a year, first of all. Second of all, the border numbers right now are
1 month to a year. 1 month, they've arrested more than Biden in a year.
down 96%. 96% decline in 6 weeks. We did in 6 weeks what Joe Biden refused to do in 4 years. And what we needed, as the president articulated during his speech, all we needed was a new president who took border security seriously, and that's what we have in President Trump. 96% decline on border crossing. But here's the most important part, what I think is the most important part, gotaways. Under Joe Biden, we got 2.2 million people cross the border, weren't apprehended, weren't fingerprinted, weren't vetted. 2.2 million people came into this country, and we got them on video, drone traffic, sensor traffic. They weren't apprehended because Border Patrol is too busy changing diapers, making baby formula, taking care of the humanitarian crisis of people coming across that border by the millions. 2.2 million people cross the border. We don't know who they are, where they came from, why they're here. Gotaways by average were 1,800 a day under Joe Biden. 1,800 people a day crossed this border and weren't apprehended because there was Border Patrol so overwhelmed. The gotaway number yesterday, 41.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Under the Biden administration, gotaways number was 1,800 per day. And under the Trump administration, it's 41. That is just severe incompetence, man. Or not, it's intentional. At that point, it's not even incompetence. That's intentional. You wanted these people to be able to come through here and do whatever they wanted to do and did not care about the American citizens and their safety. Like you said, there's no fingerprinting on them. They were not vetted. There's no way to know what their intentions were coming here. And a lot of them were not good. Man. And then they want to act surprised why Donald Trump won in a landslide.
41, 1,800 to 41. That means less people are entering this country than that we don't know who they are. When you have the border, and here's where I keep preaching, but the left keeps pushing back. When you have a 96% decline in illegal border crossing, when 96% less people are coming, how many women and children aren't being sexually assaulted by the cartels? How many children aren't crossing that border? How many pounds of fentanyl is not getting into this country, Americans? How many people on the terrorist watch list aren't escaping this country? How many billions of dollars are the cartels not making? A secure border saves lives, and that's what President Trump has done. We were saving lives by the thousands simply because we have a secure border. We got more to do. Look, we were arrested about 3 times more than Biden did in 1 month. I already talked about that. In 1 month, we compare his month to our month, we're arresting 3 times more than Joe Biden did. That's not enough. We need to do 10 times more because he wasn't doing squat. So the media's been all of me, well, are you happy with the numbers? I'm happy. I'm not satisfied. We're not going to rest. I'm not going to sleep well at night until every public safety threat, illegal aliens eradicated from this country. That's when we'll relax, and that's when we'll take some action.
That's what you freaking need in a border czar. I'm not going to relax until every public safety threat is eradicated. That was your job, Kamala. Man, I'm so grateful. Man, I'm so grateful, man. I like Tom Homan more than Trump at this point. This guy does not play, man. Oh, I'm so grateful, man. Because it makes me feel more safe to be in this country. It makes me feel like I can walk around the street and not have some person who's not supposed to be here do something crazy to me or someone I love. And like I said, it's not to say there aren't crazy people in America, but man, there's a few less when we have people like Tom Homan keeping us safe and securing our border. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to comment your thoughts down below. I want to know what you guys are thinking on this, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.